Hello dear friends, welcome to Boan Baby channel. My name is Yuri Boan, and today we have on the review, perhaps one of the most desirable strollers for our mothers. This is the 4th generation of Cybex Priam. Some of you will say, oh, that's too expensive. And you will be absolutely right. The price of this stroller always started above $1,000, and very often you mothers ask us why such a high price, is it justified? Therefore, together with you today we will review this stroller and answer this question for ourselves. Come on. Well, let's first say a few words about the brand itself and about this stroller in general. Cybex is a German company, so everything that will be related to quality, materials, indeed, everything here is at the highest premium level. And, of course, the design of this stroller is not in the last place. Why moms like this stroller so much? There are a lot of colors here, there are also bright and calm colors, there are collaborations with famous brands and even designers. In addition, you have the opportunity to choose different frame colors, silver, black, gold. But that's not all, it's a stroller constructor. Accordingly, you can choose the design of the frame of one color, the cradle of another, the seat unit of the third, and the infant carrier of the fourth, and assemble a stroller for yourself that you will definitely like. In addition, let's tell you right away how this stroller will differ from the previous 3rd generation. The first most important difference is the height of the cradle, it has become higher. Accordingly, if you are tall parents, you will definitely appreciate it. In addition, the adapters on which this cradle is placed are now suitable for installing the infant carrier, respectively. You will not need to buy anything else, these adapters will be immediately included. We have talked about colors, now about fabrics. They're very pleasant to touch, they are of the highest quality and have an impregnation against getting wet and UV protection. Well, now let's deal with the cradle. As for protection from the sun, everything is fine here, we will have a fairly deep hood. The only thing to note is that in this area where the handle is, there is a hole. If it starts to rain, we recommend wearing a raincoat. And if it's hot outside, then there is one valve for additional ventilation. But that's not all, here in the side at the bottom there is a very voluminous area for ventilation. In addition, grown-up children who like to lie on their tummy and look ahead will also appreciate it. But that's not all, look what they've done. They sewed in a special zipper, and this valve, which you unfolded, can be put away in a special pocket. And thus the design of the stroller will not suffer. A sufficiently high side will protect your child from bad weather, and there are buttons on the sides so that you don't blow anything. The cape on the cradle itself is fastened with a zipper, a waterproof zipper, may be opened on both sides. It is convenient to use it wherever you stand relative to the stroller. The stroller's hood descends silently. The only way to do this is by simultaneously pressing, 2 buttons on the sides. Below are some numbers. This cradle is really very spacious. Its length is 77 centimeters, width 34. By the way, the weight of the stroller together with the cradle is about 14 kilograms. Be sure to keep this in mind. I really like how it is organized inside. Really the highest quality cotton is used. The inner textile can be unfastened, it is fastened with a zipper and washed separately. Our mattress is made of foam rubber, and it has a memory function. The cover here is also removable, so if something gets dirty, don't worry, you can take it off and wash it. In addition, there is an additional bumper in the head area. We recommend removing it when the child will lie on his tummy. Look forward so that nothing interferes with his view. As you can see, the bottom of the cradle is made of plastic. There are multiple holes for better air circulation. The cradle itself keeps its shape due to these metal struts. When the bassinet is not needed, simply remove the spaces and it folds into a pancake shape. And on the cradle there is a zippered pocket where you can put something, and it will always be at your fingertips. You don't have to hug the stroller to remove the carry cot. It is enough to press the button on one side, it remembered its position, the button on the other side, and just pull the cradle up. Very easy. In addition, there are legs on the bottom of the cradle, respectively. You can put it on the ground and not worry that it will get dirty. And one more thing, remember I said that it would be possible to put a car seat on the same adapters? I want to show how they are filmed and what they look like up close. So, to remove, fold this clip and press the button in the central part. Everything is very simple. Priam is one of the few strollers where the frame is a pure work of art. It is beautiful and high quality. You can see how succinctly it is made. You will not find here rivets, protruding bolts. This is really just the highest level of engineering. It is really a pleasure to drive and use this stroller. But the most frequent element that you will touch is, of course, the handle. It is made of eco leather, has a very pleasant stitching. In addition, there is a loop on the handle for extra security. There is a button in the middle of the handles to adjust the height of the handle. In addition, it will come in handy when folding the frame. The frame of the stroller is made of aluminium alloy. The maximum load that it can withstand is 22 kilograms. In addition, the frame itself without wheels weighs about 5.5 kilograms, which is very little. Suspension is available on each of the four wheels, on the back and on the front too. The wheels are made of foamed polyurethane, so they do not need to be looked after, they do not need to be pumped up, they will never be punctured. There are bearings, thanks to which this stroller really rolls very well. Front wheels swivel 360 degrees. When this function is not needed, just move this trigger to another position, and the wheel will be blocked. And this stroller has a lot of accessories, and I'll tell you about one accessory right now. If you remove the front wheels, then you can put mini skis instead, which, of course, will come in handy for you in a snowy winter or if you go somewhere to a winter resort. The stroller is equipped with a fairly spacious and thoughtful luggage basket. In addition, it is also removable. If you need to put something, then there is a very convenient valve on the magnet, which you can fold back, thereby increasing the volume of this basket. On the rear axle, as you can see, there is a foot brake. Press the upper part, remove from the brake, press the lower part, put on the brake. And the width of the wheelbase is 60 centimeters, which means you will pass absolutely any elevator. And, of course, the review of the frame will be incomplete if I do not tell you how it folds in. But first, let me tell you about one more feature. This stroller can ride on the rear wheels without removing the carry cot. Look how it goes. Just move the two trigger and lift the stroller like this. When will you need this feature? For example, if you need to overcome a few steps or if you went to the ocean and you will need to drive along the sand. Well, let's show how this frame is folded, and I can do it with one hand. First, press the small button with your thumb, press the large button with your remaining fingers, drown the handle and lifted it up. As you can see, it does not fold very compactly, so plan a place in the trunk of your car. Well, friends, and now my favorite part of the review. I will tell you about my feelings on how this stroller is on drive. Unfortunately, most moms won't get a chance to experience this control before buying because it's a different experience in the store. I can say that this stroller is really very good in handling. You will ride it and enjoy. Even if you spend several hours a day walking with your baby, you definitely will not get tired. If you are a tall parent, do not worry, because the cradle here is located high from the ground. There is a fairly large adjustment of the handle. You definitely won't trip over this stroller. And if you are a petite mum, don't worry either. This stroller handles so well that even though it weighs about 14 kilograms, you won't feel its weight at all. The only thing about suspension, here it is still, I think, more urban. It is here, it is, in principle, not bad here. Even though the cushioning itself is stiff and the wheels are also polyurethane, for most urban conditions it will also work fine for you. Well, friends, your baby has grown up, which means it's time to move to the seat unit. Let's figure it out. Just a few numbers. The weight of this stroller, together with the seat unit, is 13 kilograms, and the internal dimensions, the length is gigantic, almost a meter, and the width at the narrowest point where your baby sits is 30 centimeters. The unit is quite large, it is reversible. And this means you can install it not only in the direction of travel, but also opposite to the drive. In addition, there is a lying position of 175 degrees, almost horizontal. The footrest can also be raised to a horizontal position. And, of course, when your baby is asleep, you will want to make the hood deeper. There is an additional section here, and in order to adjust the hood, no buttons need to be pressed. And this is done silently. When you open the hood extension area, there is another peephole for ventilation. This valve here, which you recline, has two magnets so that nothing blows. At the top there is a black lever, it is used to lower the backrest. And in the back at the bottom there is a very spacious pocket. And one more function, you will not find it in any stroller. Please note that when I lower the backrest, the lower part also moves forward at the same time. This is done so that, regardless of how your baby will sit or lie, how the seat unit will be installed, the weight of the stroller itself is ideal so that it was easier and more comfortable for you to drive it. Another thing you will love about this seat unit is the strap system. They are 5-point with overlays. You will not surprise anyone with this, but how they are regulated. You press the button and loosen the straps. After you put the baby in here, just pull the one strap and fix the baby. By the way, pay attention to how beautiful the lock for fastening belts is here. The crossbar for the baby is also made of eco leather, has a very neat stitching. It can be removed on one side or completely removed. In addition, a convenient hinge mechanism allows the bumper to be lowered so that it does not interfere with the boarding and unboarding of the passenger. The footrest for the baby has a tilt adjustment. This is done by two buttons on the sides. In addition, please note that the bottom part is made entirely of plastic. It will also be easy to care for. The ability of the walking block to compactly fold together with the frame is one of the most important characteristics of the stroller. Therefore, I want to stop your attention on this in more detail. Let's first show how it can fold when installed in the direction it goes. I think that it is quite compact. Let's show you what it looks like. In addition, there will also be a handle for easy carrying. This stroller is also very easy to unfold. And then I want to rearrange the block in the opposite position and show how it will fold in this case. It may not be very compact, but for someone it will be acceptable. So, I threw the unit in the other direction, lower it down, lower the handle in the same way and intercept it. As you can see, it can also fold this way, but it's not very compact. By the way, the stroller does not have a retainer to fix the frame in a folded state. By the way, just like with a cradle, the seat unit can be rolled behind you on 2 wheels. Do it in exactly the same way. Press 2 levers, pull the front wheels under the rear ones and roll. So, friends, let's recap. We had a really cool stroller. Let's discuss who it suits, who doesn't, and how people generally come to choose this stroller. First, of course, these are people who want to emphasize their status, that they have money, that they can really afford even such a stroller. The second category of parents are those who want the best for their children and, of course, they will stumble upon this stroller, they will like it in terms of design and characteristics, and they have a question, is it worth overpaying? So let's think. This stroller is indeed one of the best in the market in terms of characteristics, quality and design. In addition, this stroller is also very correct from a practical point of view. It has a spacious cradle, a closed cradle, high-quality materials, it has a cool seat unit. The only thing, of course, could be the hood was made deeper. However, this stroller, although not quite compact, can be folded with a seat unit. This stroller is passable and has a fairly average suspension, respectively, suitable for most parents. But the question of price, of course, will alienate many. And then you must decide for yourself whether you are ready to overpay for it or not. We understand perfectly well that this is an excellent stroller, but it will not teach your baby to speak, it will not teach him to use the potty, just like other strollers. However, by buying this stroller, you can be sure that your child will be in maximum comfort, and you will enjoy every walk. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube. Like, subscribe to our channel. So you will definitely not miss our next videos. Well, on this let's say goodbye. We wish you easy childbirth, healthy babies. And see you at Boan Baby.